Usato was still confused by what he saw, but he immediately ran after the Ryanthrope girl to ask about it. But the girl was already hiding and watching Usato from afar, thinking that he was her only hope. Usato couldn't find the girl even after asking the guard, so he didn't have any idea where he could find her. At the same time, Rose arrived and asked what he was fussing about. Thomas left, as he was afraid of Rose, while Usato said that he could understand him, but Rose grabbed his face, pissed with his reaction, and she only let him go after he asked where she had been. Rose explained that she had been scouting the Demon Lord's army, and she also mentioned how she had destroyed the bridge they were building to buy themselves some time. Usato asked her if she knew what scouting meant with an annoying expression, so Rose immediately grabbed his face again. Rose actually knows about the Ryanthrope girl, as she was impressed with how she managed to escape to the kingdom while avoiding the bandits and kidnappers. Usato got curious, so Rose explained that beaskins were considered valuable prey because of their beauty and special magic affinities. Usato asked if it included the ability to show the future. Rose had heard of beastkins known as oracles of time who have these abilities, but she added that they are rare and well protected inside the beastkin territory. Rose got curious why Usato was asking, so he pretended that he had read about them in a book, although Rose noticed that he was hiding something. Afterwards, they parted ways, as Rose still had to report to the king. The king apologized to Rose as she had to do something so dangerous, but he was also thankful that she delayed the invasion. However, they were certain that the invasion would still start in a few days, so the king decided that he would publicize it the next day. The king asked Sergio to make the preparations, while he asked Siglis to notify Inukami and Ryusen right away. Ryusen was curious why they had been summoned, but Inukami was positive that it was about the invasion. Afterwards, they ran into Princess Celia. Inukami noticed the awkwardness between Celia and Ryusen, so she asked if something had happened, but she ignored it when Ryusen said that it was nothing. Then they entered the king's chamber. Usato couldn't sleep because of the future he had seen. He remembered that the girl mentioned he was the only one who could change it, but he doesn't believe that he was capable of doing so. At the same time, Usato noticed the light orbs floating outside his window. He thought it was some ghost, but he saw Ryusen waiting outside. Ryusen apologized for disturbing Usato so late in the evening. Usato said that it was fine, but he noticed that something was bothering Ryusen. Ryusen explained that the king had summoned them and informed them about the war that was beginning soon. He added that he wasn't surprised, as he knew it was coming, but unlike Inukami who was excited about it, the idea of actually going into the battle kept him awake. He admitted that he was afraid of going to war and that his legs even froze in fear when he went out to train and saw the monsters for the first time. Even after defeating them, he realized how naively he was seeing everything, and the fact that the Demon Lord's army's aim is to slaughter everyone terrifies him. And when he remembers how the kingdom's citizens supported and expected great things from him, Ryusen feels even more pressure. Usato was surprised that Ryusen could actually feel unsure or afraid of something, as he always thought that he was cool. However, he could understand the tremendous pressure, and he told Ryusen that it was fine to put his own feelings first and not meet everyone's expectations from time to time. Ryusen asked how Usato felt about their current situation. Usato declared that he was going to go to war and save the people fighting against the demon army. Although he was also afraid, he had already made up his mind. Ryusen asked if he was certain about it, as he was only dragged into the matter by accident. So Usato explained that even though he was summoned by accident, he was accepted by everyone in the kingdom, so he wanted to save these people. And these include Ryusen, and regardless of whether he fought as a hero or not, he would still be his friend. Ryusen finally decided after hearing everything. Although he wasn't confident in himself as a hero, he declared that he would fight to protect his friends, including both Usato and Inukami. He thought he couldn't cower in fear, and instead he had to move forward, face his fear head-on, similar to Usato. Usato asked if he was certain about it, so Ryusen declared that he would be fine with both Usato and Inukami by his side. Afterwards, they vowed to protect the kingdom together. Usato realized they said something cringeworthy, but Ryusen thanked him, and he thought Usato was really cool. Usato wanted to go to sleep and forget about the embarrassing stuff he said, but Inukami showed up to tease him about the bromance she witnessed. She admitted that she followed Ryusen out of worry, but she realized that she didn't have to worry anymore as Ryusen had made up his mind. However, Usato admitted that he still didn't want Ryusen to fight. Inukami asked if he also didn't want her to fight. Usato affirmed, but he explained that it was a different matter as she had decided to stay in their current world. Inukami thought he was right, and she decided to go back after saying good night. The king announced the demon army's coming invasion, and he declared that they would intercept them in the grasslands. Although he knew that the demon army would be stronger compared to 2 years ago, he was confident that they could win a second time, as not only do they have the heroes and the fearless army, they also have the rescue team to heal their wounded, who were tremendous during the battle 2 years ago. The king declared that victory would be theirs, followed by the army's war cry, showing their determination to win. Ryusen came to visit Princess Celia, who was surprised when her servant informed her about it. Ryusen apologized for the sudden visit, but Celia was glad to see him, although she couldn't hide her worry seeing that he had made up his mind to join the war, so she could only pray for his victory. Ryusen declared that he would protect the kingdom, and he finally called her just by name while bidding farewell. Celia blushed upon hearing this, but she also asked him to return safely. Meanwhile, Orga and Yuru had arrived at the rescue team's house. Yuru was really excited after seeing the cute Blurin, and she immediately asked to pet him. But like usual, Blurin slapped her hand away. Yuru was surprised, but she refused to give up, so Blurin had to slap her hand away a few more times. Kyukuru also showed up, so she thought he was there to make her feel better, but he sat on Blurin's head, so she couldn't pet him as well. Meanwhile, Orga fell while carrying their luggage, so Usato immediately helped him. They watched Yuru continuously try to pet Blurin, and Usato thought she was always spirited. However, Orga knew how nervous she was as it was her first battle, similar to Usato. At the same time, Tong called for Usato, saying that Rose wants him in her room. Usato was confused, as he had never been in her room before, and he was even afraid that she was planning to torture him. But Tong also had no idea, so he just asked him to go. Usato asked Rose why she had called for him. Rose asked if he still remembered his role in the battle, so Usato explained that he would join her in the vanguard to heal the wounded. However, Rose explained that they would not go out right away. She also reminded Usato to be careful and observe whether a soldier really needs his healing or if he would end up getting in the soldier's way instead. Usato understood what she meant, so Rose finally gave him the rescue team's official uniform, which was meant to stand out on the battlefield. Usato stared in silence, so Rose had to order him to try it. Usato excitedly wore it. They agreed that it looked good on him, but Rose suddenly grabbed his collar. She reminded Usato that healers weren't immortal and everything was over when he died, so the worst thing he could do on the battlefield was not value his life. Usato thought he already knew this. He also said that he didn't want to die, so Rose flicked his forehead. He told Usato that a true rescue team member also protects their lives, and she declared that if he tried to sacrifice himself, she would kill him before the enemy got him. Hearing this, Usato declared that he would protect everyone, including himself, and Rose was glad to see his determination. Usato remembered the visions he saw, but he didn't care whether it was the future or not, as he was determined not to let Inukami and Ryusen die. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy this video, and please subscribe so you won't miss the next part. And just comment down any anime you want to see in this channel.